I sent you the quote.
I've got the quote.
Okay.
Be not alarmed, madam, on receiving this letter, that it contains any repetition of those sentiments or renewal of those offers which were this evening so disgusting to you. But I must be allowed to defend myself against the charges laid at my door.
Who's that by?
Mr. Darcy.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
That was one of two quotes. There was another quote. There was another quote I was really thinking of sending to you, and it was, a little sea bathing would set me up forever.
Which is Lydia.
No.
Oh, it's Mrs. Bennet?
That's Mrs. Bennet. And I'm not quite sure what she means by that, but it's so fantastic. And the way that Alison Steadman delivers it in the episode, I typed it in. I'm like, oh, that's going to be the quote of the episode. But I actually thought the Darcy one sets up the entire episode better. But yeah.
Yeah, sea bathing.
Sea bathing would set me up forever. What does it even mean? Anyway, welcome to Into the Austenverse. I am David Campbell.
I am Lisa Campbell.
And we are celebrating all things Jane Austen. We are reviewing Pride and Prejudice 1995. We are in the middle now. We are episode 4, if you are keeping up with us. And it has been a real thrill. A lot of people chiming in, a lot of people loving the watch-alongs.
Indeed. It's lovely.
And we had our mini drop episode, of course.
Well, first of all, we need to acknowledge our listeners in Mongolia.
Wait, what? How many listeners?
5 listeners in Mongolia.
I thought it was 4.
No, it's 5.
So, people in Mongolia are talking.
Thank you for listening, Mongolia.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mongolia. Isn't that nice?
It's lovely.
Yeah. We should do some Australian shout-outs one day too, because...
Of course. I mean...
Shout out to all our Aussie listeners as well. It's a hot one today if you are listening.
Hot temperature-wise. Not,
yeah, hot temperature-wise. It's like...
It's not sexy. Well, I suppose it is, because today is the day that we're actually looking at Shirts in the Lake.
Shirts in the Lake.
So it's a hot one, metaphorically and also physically.
Shirts in the Lake is a great title for the musical theatre version of this episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the Shirts in the Lake, she sings it to herself. She's walking through Pemberley. I can see it now. It's a great title.
Perfect.
Where can everyone find us?
On Instagram, you can find us at Into the Austenverse. That's the numerical 2. On TikTok, we are at Into the Austenverse. On YouTube, we are Into the Austenverse. And you can email us at info@intotheaustenverse.com.
And today's episode is sponsored by our good friends at Pride and Prejudice, sort of. This is the incredible 5-star smash hit Olivia-winning musical comedy that is coming straight from the West End to us here in Australia next year.
Yes, it is coming to Melbourne and Sydney at the Opera House and Wollongong, Canberra and Brisbane. So you can find out more at prideandprejudicesortof.com.au. Thank you.
We'll be there.
Obviously.
Obs.
Can I ask a question?
Please. You do the Q's, I've got the A's.
Well, I'd like to talk about your A.
Just one A?
Well, actually, it's a capital A here.
Yes.
And why do you think that people have really jumped on to the Adrian Lucas interview that we did? He is so popular.
Why? Because he's wonderful. I think the social clip that we put up of him discussing Wickham and Darcy naked in a jacuzzi didn't hurt.
Look, we're not stupid. This isn't our first rodeo. We've done social media before.
It's wonderful to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, it was a really, really fun episode to record. He was so charming and told so many stories. He knows so much about this character. It's interesting to talk to someone who has, I mean, we spoke to Susanna Harker and she wants to go back to that time with her new film, Jane Bennet's Second Spring. The fact that this being Mr. Wickham and he spent so much time actually being in the character. So from 1995 and then doing this play, I think it's a really interesting speaking to someone who's lived the experience of being a Jane Austen character for that big chunks of his life.
Can I tell you something else?
Yeah, go ahead.
What I love about both of those actors is the fact they're leaning in to the thing that we love about them, the role that was defining for them in the consciousness. And of course, I understand performers who want to shy away from their iconic performances and don't want to be typecast. I'm not saying that Susanna and Adrian have been, but I love the fact that they are willing to give us what we want.
Yeah.
Which is, I want to talk to them about it because it means so much. And so I feel there's a real generosity in them in doing so.
Yeah, I think it's really lovely that they lean into it. It's really lovely that they're open to it. And that's not, listen, Colin Firth, he can do whatever he wants. I'm sure he's spoken about it enough.
Yes, but it's like you don't go to a Van Morrison concert and shout, "Do Brown Eyed Girl." It's never going to happen.
No, that's right.
But I'm thrilled that they're starting this out. They're closing this out with it. Yeah,
they really are. Speaking of people talking about their roles in Pride and Prejudice, I'm just going to pivot back to the movie for a second, because I'm sure people out there might know if they're huge super fans, but Matthew Macfadyen is in a new Netflix series called Death by Lightning.
Which is amazing.
It's really incredible. It's about Charles Guiteau and about the assassination of Garfield as the president.
Okay, yes. The title card at the very beginning says, this is a story about two people you've forgotten about. You've watched the episodes and you've forgotten. Yeah. But yes, it is. President Garfield hates Mondays, loves lasagna, and Charles Guiteau, who was his...
assassin.
Yeah.
Yes, he was, in the Sondheim sense of the word. But what was great about this, of course, he's starring with the wonderful Michael Shannon, who is incredible in this and plays Garfield. And a clip came across my algorithm the other day of the two of them doing an interview on the back of promoting this for Netflix. And they were talking about what is the most famous thing that people shout at them across the street. And Macfadyen's obviously like, well, most people just say Tom because of Succession. He said sometimes they'll just yell Greg, and he's like, you're so close. But the person that interviews them off camera, who is a woman, she goes, does anyone say Darcy? He says, not as many as Tom and Greg. He said, but still sometimes. And he says, I quite like it when they do that more because it makes me feel like I'm still young enough to look like Darcy. Which is really charming.
Oh, he is so charming.
I know.
Oh, I've seen him interviewed a bit recently, and he's so lovable.
And once again, that's somebody else who always leans into the fact that, yes, I played Darcy, and obviously it's a big part of my career, and I want to talk about it, just like Adrian did and just like Susanna did.
Yes, indeed. You had some news.
That was it. That was my news.
That was your news.
Yeah,
oh,
I know, it's just a little bit of gossip, really.
I wish that, in fact, on... on the actual news, you're like, any more news? No, that's it. That's it. You caught up.
You mean like on the Today Show or something like that?
On the Today Show, yeah.
That's it. No, we've run out of news. You've caught up for today. Like, remember when you used to get to the end of Facebook?
Yes. Yep, no more stories.
No one understands that. But in the early days of Facebook, which we were on, we've always been quite early adopters on things. I think we've slowed down with kids now because you just can't keep up with everything.
We are so far behind now.
I remember when we first got onto Uber, I remember our friend Kim McKay saying, have you guys tried Uber yet to get home? And we're talking about it. It's like, it's a hire car and you can get it. It was like, and it was so bougie.
Yeah, and all the cars are really nice.
Yeah, and it was long before they're like, here's a clapped out old Datsun you can get in for like $50 on a surge price, right, on the way to the airport. So we were on that, but we were also early on because I think one of your friends, was it Ryan?
Ryan, yeah.
It was Ryan White, the director.
Because he was from Duke.
He was from Duke, and he said, you guys got to go onto Facebook. And we did. And you used to be able to, once you'd seen all your friends and there was no news, no algorithm, it would just say, you're all caught up. That's the end. And I got to say, I relish those days. Bring them back.
That's the end of the news.
That's the end of the algorithm for today. You can put your phone down and walk away.
Yeah.
It'd be great if they did that.
Yeah.
They're not going to. There's no money in that. That's a waste of our time. Let's talk about episode 4 because
So we've got, I'll just talk through quickly what happens this episode.
Okay.
So we've got Lizzie rejecting Darcy and him writing to her with a response, which that quote that we said at the beginning was from. And in that letter, he says, okay, here are the facts about Wickham. And also, I feel quite strongly that I did the right thing about Jane. This is the reason why I dissuaded Bingley. Then he talks about the fact that he hid Jane's visit from Mr. Bingley.
That's a big reveal.
So then they go back up to Hertfordshire. Mm-hmm. In Bromley, they meet up with Kitty and Lydia.
Chaos ensues.
Oh my God. And then...
Look, I've got ham and everything for you. Can you pay for it? I've just bought this hat. Do you like it? No, I hate this hat. It's absolute chaos.
Oh my God. I've said this before, and I'm sure I will say it again. I don't want to diagnose any mental conditions in Austen's characters, but Lydia in this episode is so ADHD. I was being fed all of these memes about having ADHD and buying stuff on Black Friday.
Yeah.
And this is Lydia.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you like, I bought this bonnet. I spent all the money on this bonnet. I hate it. It's not as bad as some of them. So it was, but I did it. I'll just take it to pieces.
Yeah. I can't return it to Amazon now. I've just bought it.
Yeah. But I hate it. So they go back up home and Lydia is invited to Brighton.
Which is controversial because she's younger than Kitty, but we can break all that down in a minute.
Lizzie has a little bit of sparring with Wickham.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's off on her holidays up to Derbyshire, where they have a day trip to Pemberley.
With the Gardiners.
And then Darcy comes back home, jumps in the lake. Then obviously talks to them afterwards.
Let's break down a little bit, because one of my favorite parts of the beginning of this, because I think we talked about previously with Andrew Davies and Sue Birdwhistle, was talking about the fact that there's a lot of letter writing in Jane Austen's works, and to then put that on the screen can sometimes be a little bit difficult to manage. And how do you do that?
Yeah.
And I felt a little bit of the struggle of that for the first 10-15 of this episode.
Yes,
Because
I agree.
Once, and it was my favorite thing to do, Darcy goes home and writes a strongly worded letter to a woman that he's just insulted.
Yeah.
And shirt gets undone and he's like quilling it up, and there's lots of broken bits of quill, and he sends it off to her. But then we're hearing a lot of there's a lot of reading, a lot of voiceovers.
Yeah, the voiceover doesn't bother me.
What does bother you?
Mr. Darcy's big head in the clouds.
The Darcy ghost.
Ooh.
I thought in the 4K they might just take that out and post.
Yeah.
Because it's the only time they do it.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
Yeah, it was a choice.
It was the 90s.
Yeah.
Mr. Darcy's big face is not it's not a highlight for me.
Probably one of the few lowlights of the entire series is just that moment, which is good.
Yeah, and also one of the very few moments that makes you go, "Oh God, this has dated it."
Yes.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm also, if I'm gonna be pernickety, I'm not a big fan of walking around reading a letter and going, how, and like talking about we didn't need the line.
I know, but I don't know what we're going to do. I felt the struggle there. I really felt the struggle with the actors and the directors. And I was like, oh, well, is that what you think now, huh?
Yes. Looking out the window, pensive.
But what's really interesting about their, I guess, non-verbal acting, both Jennifer and Colin in this, is that they both start the episode a certain way non-verbally, and by the end of the episode they are both completely different. And so while I was watching it in real time going, oh God, I'm really struggling with this part, by the time I got to the end of the episode and they're both completely softened, their looks and their gazes to each other, and you can see there's awakenings happen, particularly for Jennifer throughout the episode. It's a lot of great silent movie acting going on.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. And yes, we'll look at it on the trajectory of the whole thing. Who is your MVP for this episode?
Oh, that's really tough. There's a lot of good contenders. Mr. Collins eating, obviously. Oh, that was
mouth
gross.
Sounds.
Mouth sounds.
God,
I did not notice that before.
Him enjoying food. I can't bear people enjoying food anyway. Oh, no. People just describing something as yummy makes me want to vomit. But him doing the mouth sounds, oh my God, it's awful. But it's perfect.
Lady Catherine de Bourgh being vexed by Lizzie not sparring with her and kind of wanting her to, which I found really exciting. Like, I wasn't expecting to have her to be like, come on, if you're not going to do this now, I'll make you stay another month, which was awesome of her.
Yeah, she's an interesting character, isn't she?
Yeah, she really is. She's so well played too. Another Mr. Collins moment was the wave to Charlotte, about how perfect they are. He does that. Gross, it's the best.
I love the bit where Mr. Collins is sat next to Lady Catherine. Lady Catherine starts speaking over the top of him and he goes,
yes.
And hushes himself.
Yeah.
It's so camp. I love it. In fact, from now on, every time that you interrupt me, I'm good. No. It has to be like on the side.
On
It's
the
like
side, like a little karate chop to your mouth. It's like a little Collins karate chop.
Amazing.
So I think, look, Kitty has a good go at it this episode, but yeah, it's really, Darcy's journey is really strong this episode.
Yes.
It's hard to go past it.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. My MVP though, and also my MVP generally, are the Gardiners.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the Gardiners. Your producer on your TV show,
Yep.
Cozzy, and I have a shorthand for somebody who is a good person, which is that they're a Mrs. Gardiner or a Mr. Gardiner. They have big Gardiner energy.
Right.
Because they're the best.
Yeah, they're so amazing.
But we'll put a pin in the Gardiners.
Let's get into Wickham Gate then. Straight away, we get into young Wickham and young Darcy running through the field together, possibly besties as young kids as kids are.
Well, you'd hope so because they've got the same haircut.
Yeah, you're here, you're my friend, let's go.
Yep.
Then they get older and then obviously Wickham starts to form his own personality, which is different to Darcy's, including naughty Wickham.
Yeah.
With a busty lady on his lap that Darcy just walks in on. How about knocking, bro?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look.
Whose fault is that? Darcy's a little bit to blame there.
That could be Darcy's room. We don't know.
Oh, well, then that's Wickham's fault.
Well, I'm always going to... Everything's Wickham's fault, let's face it. Yeah, I mean, that, again, top of the episode, it's a little on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Did they wear mortarboards every day at university?
I don't know.
I don't know. But and then, obviously, we learn more about what he was up to with Georgiana. Also, Mrs. Young. What was up with Mrs. Young?
First of all, who the fuck is Mrs. Young? And why is she with a 15-year-old girl trying to get her up with this guy? I know she's worth $30,000 a year, so maybe she's going to get a cut of it, but it is full on.
I'm going to go and investigate Mrs. Young. I'm going to come back to you in episode 5 with more information on Mrs. Young.
Mrs. Young theories. And also the fact they do say it very clearly. She was 15.
Yeah.
And that's going to be very telling coming up in the next episode with Wickham and age. It's not great.
Something that really struck me with this one, because obviously last episode when we had Lydia on a swing, last time we had Lydia's age discussed with Wickham, and we found out she was 15 when she was on a swing, obviously.
I think it's a lull to be on a swing, but you do you.
Rude. Mind you, you've been on a swing recently. It's awful.
Yeah, make me feel sick.
Horrific.
I can't spin around in a circle once without feeling like I need to lie down for 10 minutes. I'm at that age.
It's the going back. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yes. What I thought was really interesting is that you look at Darcy's reaction to Georgiana when she's rescued.
Yeah.
And he's so generous to her. And so he recognizes that Wickham is the bad egg and that Georgiana is, not culpable. She's been taken advantage of. And I thought it was really interesting because we don't, or maybe it's me, but I think in general, we don't have the same perception of Lydia as we do of Georgiana, who is the same age, also taken advantage of by the same guy. But yet Lydia seems more culpable than Georgiana does. Yeah. For us, as looking at the two characters, the way that they're portrayed, particularly on screen, because obviously we don't really come into contact with Georgiana much in the book, but Lydia seems to be full of chaos and exciting, and she's there.
She's a wild child.
Yeah. In some respects, we are giving her more agency in that and taking less, or we're giving her more agency in this situation. But Darcy doesn't. And Darcy shows that, I mean, obviously I know that he wants to protect the Bennet sisters as well, but he is also protecting Lydia.
Yeah, he is.
In a similar way. So I really like the fact that he shows that to Lydia and to Georgiana, which is, I hadn't really put into context the fact that he does that for both.
Yeah, he's very nurturing of both of them in a very patriarchal way, but not patronizing way.
Yeah. So while we're talking about Lydia, can we talk about Brighton?
Yeah. What's the big deal with Brighton? They all want to go.
It's really nice.
Is it really? No, I've never been to Brighton.
Okay,
Have we been to Brighton? No, we've not been to Brighton.
Well, I have, but just not with you.
Without me.
Steady on. Look, generally, not much good happens at the seaside.
Oh.
In Jane Austen books.
Oh,
it's always like, oh, God, they went to Ramsgate, or let's not even bring up Portsmouth in Mansfield Park. But yes, they're off to Brighton, which is much nicer. And so Lydia wants to go to Brighton because the soldiers are going to be there. And when Julia Sawalha says, a whole camp of soldiers.
Oh, that made me so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable.
A whole camp full of soldiers. Oh my God. That is enough to lock her up.
I was more worried about the soldiers than Lydia at that stage. To be fair. I thought she's going to go nuts. They haven't seen that war coming.
When they're at the dining table and Mr. Bennet's like, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
No, not a chance. The next minute, he's acquiesced.
Yeah. This is another bad Mr. Bennet episode. There's a line he says when she finally gets on the coach to go to Brighton, and he just says, okay, well, that is it for me. I won't discuss this again, and I'm going to go to my library, and I don't want to be disturbed. And he, bless him, he delivers it really well, but I was just like, bro, you have lost control of the family and you don't care anymore.
Oh, this is the thing. He can be a witty man who loves our heroine, and he can also be completely absent and neglectful of his duties.
Yeah.
This is on him.
Yeah.
So much of this is on him, and
Jane sort of has that in the book too. Like, she completely doesn't let him slide on this.
Well, Lizzie has that scene with him saying, what are you doing? This is going to reflect badly on all of us.
Yeah, she does.
And yes, it's correct. And he just said, well, we won't get any peace unless she goes.
Who cares about peace?
He does. That's what he prioritizes over anything else. And that is horrific. I'm sorry. It goes through so many times. We look at things that end up at his feet. Like even when Lady Catherine de Bourgh is talking about the education of the five of them.
Yeah.
Oh, so do you still have a governess? No, we've never had a governess. Oh, well, is that your mother must have been a slave to your education? Well, no. Well, did you learn to draw? No. My mum would have loved to take us to London.
Pianoforte? No, not really. Just Mary.
Remember, she says, your mother should have taken you to London to learn to draw. And Lizzie says, well, my mum would have loved that, but my dad hates London.
Okay. Yeah. Once again, we're working it out. Mr. Bennet's he's checked out.
Yeah. And when he says about Lydia, oh, well, she'll learn, or she'll, I can't remember the words, but she'll have to teach herself about the realities of that. And no, this is not how this works. And we just see yet again, you've got Mrs. Bennet, who is floundering as the human that she is, and Mr. Bennet, who is checked out. The beauty of it is that moment you mentioned when he says that he doesn't want to be disturbed. Mm-hmm. The next minute, Gardiners arrive with all their kids and leave them there.
Yeah.
Yeah, how peaceful is it now, Mr. Bennet?
The only thing I thought of when the Gardiners arrived and they all started to pile out of that cart like it was a clown car. They just kept coming with toys and stuff like that, with no screens for who knows how many miles they were in that car. I thought that would have been like chaos. I thought, well, that was a lovely ride. It's like, are you kidding? You had 4 kids in that tiny little area, and they would have been fighting and not eating and hungry and hangry and falling asleep and elbowing each other. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I think that is not a great time to have been alive.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Stop lolloping, Kitty.
Yeah.
Are you lolloping? Oh God. Yeah, it would have been rough.
I would have been vexed a lot in those times.
You're vexed enough as it is. But can we compare the Bennets and the Gardiners?
Let's do it.
Because the Bennets look particularly bad in this episode against the Gardiners.
Yeah.
Because the Gardiners are awesome. So, I guess that's why they're there. They're there because Lizzie needs that sort of parental guidance. But we're just shown a really beautiful version of long relationship. Mr. and Mrs. Bennet spend no time together. They've checked out of the relationship a long time ago.
And clearly, because that's her sister coming in and being like, I feel like I'm going to need to take a hand here with Lizzie because like, oh, Mrs. Bennet's gone. So let's go down and take her to the country for a little bit.
Yeah, but they're always together. The Gardiners they've got a wonderful relationship. They're traveling together. They are showing such a great care of Lizzie. And also, can you imagine that moment? Well, can you imagine that moment when Mr. Darcy turns up and he says to Lizzie, can you introduce me to your friends? Can you imagine if that was Mrs. Bennet then?
Oh.
How much she would mess that up? And the difference between Mrs. Gardiner and Mrs. Bennet is so stark. And the fact that Lizzie confides in Mrs. Gardiner, which she doesn't do to Mrs. Bennet at all. Mrs. Gardiner has such calm, beautiful understanding of everything. When she hears from the housekeeper that Mr. Darcy's the best employer that she's ever had, and what an incredible man he is, and she just very calmly says, "Well, that's very different to the story that we've heard previously."
I'd like to discuss this moments and all those moments around it. Watching this time around, and I'm going to put a cat amongst the pigeons here.
Oh,
I think the Gardiners had no intention of taking her anywhere else but Pemberley.
100%.
And they keep
Mr. Gardiner knows all along.
All along. Thank you for all the looks in the card when they were like, oh, it's a nice house, isn't it? Mistress would be lovely for this place, wouldn't it? Like they are just eyeballing, talking. It's like,
absolutely.
Oh, look at how handsome he looks here.
100%.
Now, I don't know if that's in the book or not, but it is directed the hell out of this episode that the subtext is text. They are setting her up. We are matchmaking here.
Absolutely. And he's there in his little Mr. Toad outfit and he knows it. The whole time, Mr. Gardiner knows what he's doing.
And I think at first, maybe their intention was, let's go for a long, leisurely trip. And then they were like, oh, the Darcy thing. Well, I think he might be coming back early. Let's just go to Pemberley and let's just say we're not going to make it that way. We'll just do a shorter trip. I don't
think that they know he's going to rock up.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm taking a little bit too far, but I was just reading so much into that.
Oh, they're definitely showing, look at what you could have won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, feel like changing your mind yet?
Yeah.
All right, so should we get on to the fencing, most angsty fencing I've ever seen in my life, and that's helped him change his mind. And then he's coming back on horseback. It is a hot summer's day. Don't know how many layers you need, but anyway, mate, have at it. And we get to the lake. This is the big scene. This is the big moment. I remember when we were talking to, I think we were talking to Susanna Harker, and she was talking about when she first read it, and she read that scene was in there. It's like, this is going to be a smash.
Absolutely.
So we finally get to the iconic scene, which, by the way, people still talk about to this day. They just auctioned off his shirt. You know, we talked about that a couple of episodes ago. That shirt's now been auctioned off, by Sotheby's or something for a lot of money. Let's talk about it. What do you think about this moment?
Okay. Well, I love the physicality of this series, full stop. I mean, even Lizzie's just, I've got a spare few minutes. I'm going to run around.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. And the whole aspect of the fencing and they feel so virile and vivid as humans. So it's completely in keeping in that respect. The bit, why does he keep his shirt on?
Okay, I have so many questions. I'm going to be controversial here, and I don't mean to upset anyone who loves this scene. I understand why you love this scene. It's not for me about the wet shirt or the swimming or the need to cool off or them catching each other afterwards, which we can also talk about that. For me, it's that gross looking lake.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And it's got like pond scum on the top. And he does go around to the nice side, but it just looks like there's stuff on there. And I'm not a big lake guy. I don't like when you go into a river or I know a lot of people love it. They love a riverboat. They love camping and then going into the river. But I don't like that sort of mossy stuff on my toes. I don't think that my Darcy, in my head, he's so neat and so together that he would like that sort of I want just some squishy moss and some wet rocks underneath my feet. And then when he walks past that beautiful, pristine lake.
Yeah, but he couldn't go in that one because people would have seen.
Well, then if people could see, why doesn't he just go the full kit?
That, I think, is two things here. Number one, you would rather be sea bathing.
It's 100% sea bathing. If Darcy was by the sea, I would rather be sea bathing with Mrs. Bennet, clobber off and in the ocean. No doubt about it.
Okay, so you'd rather be sea bathing.
It would set me up forever if I was sea bathing.
I don't know about the lake. It does look a bit gross. It looks a little pondy, but I don't know why he keeps the shirt on.
Mm-hmm. Is it because of, I guess, the time? And it was a BBC show and...
No.
Were you getting a kid off on the BBC at that time?
Obviously.
What do you mean, obviously? I didn't live around there then.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't think that Firth nipples would have been beyond the pale.
By the way, when you want to know why we called this episode Firth nipples... It was discovered in this moment right here. Firthy nipples. For me, I don't know why he's boots off, pants off. It's too hot. I'm going to jump in my lake. No one's around. They're all there working. In I go.
Yeah.
And then I come out, put my gear on, go for a walk. I mean, even walking back with his shirt off. But here's the thing. They do play the scene like he's just in a towel. That's what I thought this time around. Did you notice that?
Oh, my God. Absolutely.
She's deeply embarrassed.
Oh, yes.
And so is he.
I know. He asked the same question twice. I think it's really sweet. I love that scene. I think it's so well done.
It's so well acted.
Yes. And your parents, they're well?
Yeah.
It's so good.
And she's trying not to make... She's only making eye contact and she's looking away, but she's trying to look at him and he's just like trying to eyeball her like, please don't look away. I'm right here. It's beautifully acted from both of them.
Oh, and when she walks away and she's so embarrassed. Oh my God, it's so well done. Everything about it.
And the Gardiners are
perfect.
chasing her.
So good.
But my favorite thing after that is that he goes, lovely, into the house he goes. Within 2 minutes, he's chucked on 4 more layers in the summer heat and come back out again.
Yeah.
But the hair's still messy. Do you notice the hair's still messy?
Yep.
Which is a good touch because there would be other TV shows that they would get him fully made up again for the next look. But he keeps the hair messy, which I think is a great touch.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's frantically putting that cravat on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well done. And then that scene when he's done himself up and he is so lovely.
Charming. The pants off Mr. Gardiner.
He really is.
I mean, bro. Lizzie's right there. You could charm the pants off her, but he's goes straight, man, would you like to go fishing at my lake?
Oh, and
man,
also...
I've got some trout.
Oh, Lambton, you say?
Mm-hmm.
And then... God, I mean, look, this is the thing you got to wonder. Why is he so charming at that moment? Is it because he loves playing conkers?
Wow. I thought you said he wasn't naked in the lake.
You know what conkers are.
Conkers is with the 2 nuts and you put them on a rope?
With 1 nut per rope.
Sorry,
yeah.
I was thinking about other conkers. 1 nut on a rope. Oh, yeah, and you sort of like have to swing it back and forth like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what you're saying. He's saying that he went to Lambton as a boy to go to the tree.
Oh, that was a conker tree.
Yeah, I think he said it's a horse chestnut tree. Yeah, conkers. He wants to play conkers.
Listen, I do remember the term conkers, and I've seen it, and maybe I've played a version of it. But I mean, I'm still old enough to remember that marbles were the business back when I was a kid.
Please, this is pre-marbles.
Yeah,
These are nature's marbles. These are the conkers.
The problem is we
to conquer.
The problem is we didn't see nature's marbles. We went to on the lake.
Do you know what he's saying? What his last line is when he's doing the fencing? His last line is, "I shall conquer."
Conquer everywhere.
There you go.
Firth nipples and conkers everywhere.
This is it. He's going. He's going to conquer.
Conquer her and conquer.
Yeah, come on. Is that a coincidence? Yes, it is.
It probably is a coincidence, but you know what? I was reading into the Gardiners setting him up completely. So yeah.
Oh, that's completely true.
Yeah.
I have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
I want to float it with you because something that popped into my mind. We are presented, Darcy and Elizabeth, as very single-minded.
Yes.
And people who have made their first impressions and then follow that thought.
Yes.
I feel as though Darcy and Elizabeth are completely changeable in accordance with who they are with.
You know what? You probably could be right.
So when Darcy is with when he first arrives, he's with the extended Bingleys. And they are, obviously the Bingley sisters are on a whispering campaign to him. They're pompous. They are
laughing at people, looking down their noses at people.
And he sort of plays into that. And even though he finds Elizabeth attractive, he still says some very Caroline Bingley put down, not handsome enough to tempt me nonsense. And then, of course, when in London, he's even worse. Then we see him at Rosings. He is like Lady Catherine, which is telling some truths, but in a really rude and pompous way. And it's only when we get to Pemberley, when he's free of external stimuli, that he becomes a decent person.
Yeah, you're right.
And Lizzie's the same. So the more when we see Lizzie with her mum, or like when she's at Longbourn, say, she is more tempestuous and more front-footedly angry.
Unless she's leaning on Jane.
Unless she's with Jane. But she's sparring. And then when she goes down to Rosings, similarly, she is still quite in that world. And then when she's around the Gardiners, she becomes calmer and more open. But some of the other characters aren't like that at all. Like Jane's not like that.
No, Jane is just Jane.
Charlotte Lucas isn't like that.
No, Charlotte Lucas is really much, she knows her lot in life.
Yeah. But those two, and those two who are presented as the most forthright and single-minded, are the ones who seem to be the most changeable.
But that's why I think the growth in this episode in the silent movie acting that we established earlier is really interesting, because Jennifer Ehle really does, as the episode's growing on, she is working stuff out also verbally. So she's talking out loud to Jane, like, this is what happened here. Then when she sees Wickham and she's sitting down with Wickham, she's letting him know that I know. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to test you with my knowledge. I'm going to check for the lie. Oh, I know where the lie is now. I'm going to do another one. I see completely through you, and we're good.
Yeah.
We're good now. I don't need to even worry about you anymore or think about you. I wash my hands with you.
Yeah.
And then we go to Pemberley, and she is just so charmed and completely, she's lost in this place. She's like, I could be the mistress here, and what have I done? And she's checking herself the whole time. And she realizes that what he said in the letter, while it's made her angry, and while he has done some awful things like not tell Bingley that Jane was in London, he has some valid points. And even though she doesn't like it, she's coming around to them.
And also, he does say that he regrets the Jane stuff.
Yes. Still doesn't apologize for it.
No, but he does say he regrets it. And I'm not saying that he's right. I think it's a real dick move. But I do think
real conquer move.
I know, just dick and conkers. Yes, he hasn't apologized, but what he's done is better, which is to demonstrate change, to show that he's actually endeavoring to be better. That's exactly what he does with the Gardiners. And because the Gardiners are so decent and open and well-mannered and receptive, they are open to it. They allow him to be a better person. And it's a really lovely moment. There are articles about it that refer to it as the Pemberley effect.
Right. Well, that's a good title.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really great.
Let's use the Pemberley effect rather than Firth Nipples.
We'll make that decision on the time.
I'm in charge of the Canva.
Well, I might just add a little parenthesis in there.
But it's the Pemberley effect, which is, there is a cynicism, and maybe two things can be true at the same time, that the beauty of Pemberley can persuade Lizzie that this is a lovely lot and this could be a good life for you. But I think there's so many other additional aspects to it, which is the fact that when he is there, he is the most authentic version of himself.
Yeah.
This is the truest version. And if we're going to accept the other truths that he said, which are things like, I am awkward in company, and he has been the recipient of incredible jibes and judgments from everybody in Meryton.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is his true self. I think that it's the reception or the reaction of the housekeeper that really hammers this
how
home.
You treat people that work for you and have been working under your dad, as opposed to what society thinks of you, and how you react to that.
Yeah.
That is his true self.
And how he's always been a good person.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really lovely. Yeah, there's no change. She knows at that point there's no benefit for the housekeeper to tell us any of this stuff. Whereas with Wickham, he has vested interest in order to pull the wool over.
They had a lot of time for sitting around for a painting back then, didn't they?
It was important.
There was a couple of paintings. I love a painting.
Big paintings.
Oh man, they're massive. That's a big sit.
I don't think they make sit for the whole thing, do they?
Don't they?
I don't know.
Well, it's not like they could take a photo and be like, "Oh, I've got it. You go on your way." He'd have to sit. Like the Queen had to sit all the time for those paintings.
Yeah.
It's a long time. Especially if you're doing more than one. There's one for this room. There's this little one down here. There's one over here.
Yeah.
Oh man, he needed to get some hobbies. Well, he did have fencing, but you can't do that all the time.
This is true. This is true. I think that's the end of our episode.
It is. I do have one more thing before we wrap up, which I forgot. It's on my phone, I think. You know how we've been doing the punny titles?
Yes.
And we love a pun.
So yeah, they're all puns on the word fur.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so I thought
the Firth cut is the deepest. The Firth cut is the deepest.
Yeah, feels like the Firth time.
Yeah.
Was the first one. And so anyway, I thought, well, there must be more out there. And I was so tired. And I was like, it was like the end of like term and I wasn't feeling very well. So I'll put some into ChatGPT and they can just spit out some songs.
Uh-oh.
I know.
AI.
What a mistake this was. So I'm going to tell you. Firth themed song title puns.
Okay.
All right. So I already put in feels like the Firth time, which it spat back out at me and put in brackets already iconic because it was my idea. Thanks, ChatGPT. But then it was really bad. Can't fight this Firth thing. All by my Firth. Firth things first. Crazy little thing called Firth. I'm still Firthy. You're the one that I Firth. It's literally just taking titles. It's not even thinking. And this, wait, for the boomers out there, Firth train running. Hit me with your best Firth. Sweet Firth of mine. Wake me up before you Firth.
That's so bad.
I quite like that one. I've got lost in my Firthdom. Firth in USA, obviously. Nothing compares to Firth. How deep is your Firth? I want to dance with some Firth. Living on a Firth. And finally, don't go Firthing my heart.
Oh my God.
I think don't go breaking my Firth would have been better. And that's how I put that down. I told you that in bed the other night. I was like, oh no, I'm going to save all these because these are hilarious. Yeah, that's why we come up with feel like the first time we do it ourselves.
Wake me up before you Firth is amazing.
Please, can we just call one of the episodes that?
Of course.
I'll let you have Pemberley effect on this one.
Okay.
If we can just wake me up before you Firth.
Done.
Maybe that's the last episode. All right. Well, that is it for us now. And now we get to episode 5. What could possibly go wrong? They're falling in love. We're about to wrap this up. Surely, Jane.
Wait till you see what happens in Brighton.
Bye.
Bye.